Battle for Cash. Previously on the Battle for Cash, the Battle for Cash contestants hit the studio.
Endebe emu, pili, satu, nya, kumi, kumuti kumu, ha! Kamadi mulogo!
This week on the Battle for Cash.
I find it very risky because you're depending on one customer. What's your plan B if it doesn't work out?
This can never fail to work out.
No, if that particular buyer doesn't want your product for a particular reason.
Battle for Cash. After the tough challenges and brutal boardroom sessions, it has come down to these 10. Kina Sacco, Elite Social Investment Club, Agri-Investment Kibbutz, Cape of Good Hope, ND, Kawempe Police Women Poultry Group, Oyster Investment Club, the Corporates Club Uganda, Mvara Ward, and Hakuna Mchezo. One of these clubs will walk away 30 million shillings richer.
What does an investor look for before investing in a business? Well, you see here on the Battle for Cash, only a few investment clubs will emerge winners in the end. But we also want every investor to succeed in all their ventures. And that's why we brought them investors. All they have to do is show them the money.
Tonight, the contestants meet not the judges, but potential business partners and investors, Alan, Lillian, and Daniel. These three are looking for a venture with the capacity to spit out profits and ability to expand to invest in. So, whose project has this combination? Is it Hakuna Mchezo's books and paper bags?
Some of the products that we make, these are the books with the label, Hakuna Mchezo, and it's registered by Uganda Registrar of Business Services. And two, we have the paper bags, which are branded Hakuna Mchezo. That means we are graduating from the old paper bags to the new, which is the branded one. And that's why we need the money to change from this to this, because this fetches at least high returns according to this. Likewise, when it comes to health, this one is more healthier than this, and it is environmentally
Can we listen to your
friendly.
figures, please?
Each book that we make of this choir, it costs us around 2,100. So when we sell, we make a profit of 350 shillings. When it comes to paper bag, it costs us around 850. When it comes to the finished product, we can get 650 shillings.
Are you currently selling it in the market?
We're already selling it because we already registered.
What are your sales like and what is the needed investment?
Our profits were up to 2,300,000. That means we sold 2,080 books.
Those are your profits or your sales?
Those are our sales. 2,080 books.
Within which period of time?
That is 8 months.
Okay.
When it comes to paper bags, we sold around 2,300 packets. And each packet is 25 paper bags.
Okay, just take me through your cost centers in this operation. Take me through your rent, your staff load, the utilities you spend, your cost of inputs. I want to just clearly understand how your operation is running.
As per now, we have 3 employees already on the station. We are not there, but they are there. And we pay these employees. One is paid 100,000 and 2, 120,000 for those 3 employees. Then the rent is 250 per month. 250 per month. When it comes to electricity, we pay 80,000.
Inputs, I thought, would have been more important on this list. The cost
So when
of
it
raw
comes to
materials.
inputs, the 4 boxes that we use as paper in a week, each box is 65,000. So 65,000 times 4. There are those for one choir. There's a smaller book.
So the inputs for each box is
for each-
65,000.
Yeah, 65 for the small box. And there's those big box, the big books. There's a box. That one there is 135,000.
Can we just deal with block figures here? Just give me, you've operated for 8 months. I'm sure you know the cost of inputs per month.
Essaawa y'olwaleero okusinziira ku bintu bye tukozesa kuba box emu ey'ebitabo tugigula F3 tugigula emitwalo 16 n'ekitundu. Ne tugula reza tusuka
Bigatte sebo. Bigatte byonna.
Mbigatte wamu lumu.
Omwezi mukozesa ssente mmeka musobole okufulumya ebitabo bye mutunda?
Omwezi batubaliremu wano katono naye twade tetwakibaze omwezi mulamba.
Mwetaaga ssente mmeka ze mwetaaga okwongera mu business?
Twetaaga machine nga teza bbeeyi.
Mwetaaga ssente mmeka?
Twetaaga ku budde buno twetaaga miliyoni 113.8.
Zizaale mmeka?
Tusobolwa okufunamu sente zisukka mu zino okutwala mu bbanga nga lya mwaka. Tusobola okubanga tulinamu nga miliyoni 17.
Oli bajjanga ayagala kugigula. Osobola muwendo ki gw'ogiwa?
Tuli mu sente ntono, tuli mu miliyoni nga 23.
Ng'osinzidde ku ki?
Kyensinziirako byebyo ebintu bye tukola bye tulinamu essaawa zino.
I'm not quite convinced as yet.
Okay.
They'll come back to us with the numbers.
Okay.
Hakuna Mchezo leaves hoping that their lack of numbers has not cost them this opportunity. Next, it's Andy, the shoemakers.
Business eno twakagitambuza emyezi ena. Twagala ebyuma bibiri nga buli kimu kya bukadde 5 ebiri advance okukira ku bino ebikadde bye tubadde tukozesa. Tusobola buli lunaku okufulumya peya z'engatto 40 nga buli peya tugibaliridde 1,015 nga buli mwezi tusobola okukola peya 8.
Mwagala obukadde 36.
Twagala obukadde 36.
Nga buli mwezi mujja kufuna ssente mmeka?
Tubeera tufuna miliyoni 12. Bw'ozikubisaamu omwaka ze miliyoni 14.
Mutubuulidde capacity gye musobola okutuukiriza bwe muba nga mufunye ssente zino. Naye temutubuulidde capacity gye mukolerako kaakano.
Mu mbeera gye tulimu tusobola okufulumya buli lunaku peya 12. Buli ngatto efulumira ku nnusu 8.
So business yammwe kati mugibaliddemu ssente nga mmeka?
Naye wonna awamu ne material tuweza miliyoni eziwera 9.
Toyanza nnyo ssebo. Ndowooza komaawo.
Andy is not sure they have grabbed the attention of any of the 3 investors. Mvara Ward is next with their apiary project. Are their numbers sweet enough to attract one of the 3 business partners?
Our product is honey. This is a lucrative business where you cannot look for people look for you. Therefore, our major challenge is production. Production is low, the demand is high. So we need money to produce more honey so that we can meet the market all over the world. For us to increase production, we need equipment. In total for our equipment, we need 95,535,600. Now we come to production. We harvest honey in a year twice. In each beehive, you harvest 15 kilograms of honey. Then in a year, you'll harvest 30 kilograms. Now, the cost of honey, 1 kilogram is 5,000.
How much are you looking for?
We need 95 million.
What's your payback period?
We are going to pay it in 4 years' time.
So how many beehives do you have currently?
Currently, we have 100 beehives.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want to expand to 150?
150.
So how much have you invested so far? How much is your company worth right now?
We are not only doing the business of honey alone, we are also saving in our group.
This is obviously a food.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are some standards of production, of hygiene, of packaging, and so on and so forth. Can you just take me through your quality control strategy or quality control plan that you are employing as it is in your business right now?
We have met the standards, where our honey has been tested. We have the certificate.
Okay.
So there's really need to be very clean. The hygiene is of high order.
Still to come on the battle for cash.
I find it very risky because you're depending on one customer. What's your plan B if it doesn't work out?
This can never fail to work out.
No, if the buyer, that particular buyer,
Yes.
doesn't want your product for a particular reason.
Battle for cash. Battle for cash. Tonight, the contestants meet not the judges, but potential business partners and investors. Alan, Lillian, and Daniel. The business partners are looking for unique ideas that are profitable and sustainable. The Corporates Club Uganda is about to find out whether their fruit drying project has that combination.
There are two types of fruits dried. Conventional fruits, these are semi-organic fruits. Then organic fruits. Conventional fruits go for 5,000 a kilogram, dried fruit kilogram, while organic fruits go for 8,000 a kilogram. These farmers who are drying the product use locally made solar fruit dryers. Each dries 25 kilograms per day. Costing at 8,000, this becomes 1.4 million every day. In 30 days, they sell the fruit for 42 million shillings. And in 6 months, which is our projection for the first phase of our project, they sell for 252 million just in 6 months. Since these farmers are using locally made solar dryers, we want to construct 2 modern solar fruit dryers with an organic content testing facility. The machine capacity, 500 kilograms, which is at a cost of 18 million each, and a 5 million shillings for testing facility, making it 23 million first phase. If we look at this, if we have 500 kilograms and we sell 500 kilograms times 8,000 per day, we get 4 million every day. In 30 days, we would have gotten 120 million, and in 6 months, 720 million shillings. If we construct 2 machines, that would be 36 million. This is the only money we want currently, and we would make a profit of 1.08 billion in 6 months.
You say the raw materials are currently are coming from the farmer gardens, right? So when you do expand, is that going to, are you suggesting that the material is already there in abundance to support the expansion?
Someone who has traveled to Ntungamo would know that when you're coming back to Kampala, you'd pick a pineapple at a place called Nyarutema at around 400 shillings. You get 10 pineapples and they put you in a boot of the car for 2,000 shillings. So which makes these materials so abundant to get from it.
Okay, then let's talk more about market. Who is buying organic dry fruit?
It's an organization called Fruit of the Nile Growers Association. It is located in Jinja town currently. It is buying these dried fruits and exporting them to the European Union market and the US market. So we are also looking at a projection that in some years to come, or during the project implementation, we may even be able to access that foreign market ourselves without passing through this Nile group.
Let me just ask, are you actually operating now?
We are not doing any fruit drying now.
Okay.
But we are ready to set up.
Are you farmers in Ntungamo yourselves?
Yes, we are farmers.
Yeah, are you fruit farmers in Ntungamo?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, ourselves.
Tell me why the profit appears to be so huge. Why do we have, you're saying that the cost from a 700 million projection, your costs are only 30%, including the raw material?
The cost may rise as we get much competition, but we think by now in the first 6 months of production.
Okay, I find it very risky because you're depending on one customer. What's your plan B if it doesn't work out?
This can never fail to work out.
No, if the buyer, that particular buyer,
Yes.
doesn't want your product for a particular reason.
We shall cross the bridge when we reach it. which has
we
been...
want to presuppose that the bridge is there, so
The-
cross it now.
This group that has been buying for the last 12 years from farmers, at the moment, I don't think they have made the loss that they can pull out of the market. However, there are other groups that are buying the similar products on the market.
Please
This is
share.
not the only group that is buying the products. We can sell through others. But this is the group that we are seeing that we can make a memorandum of understanding with and start selling immediately. That's great.
But thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
No business idea is risk-free. Up next is Cape of Good Hope, and their big idea is cage fish farming.
Why did we choose cage fish farming? It's because we have the ability to, there's an opportunity of mass scale production of approximately 184,000 kilograms in a full cycle, as well as we are able to have precise control of the growth of the fish in terms of feeding patterns, the size in terms of weight, as well as the survival rate. Whereas the increased demand for white meat has also pushed us to exploit that opportunity as opposed to red meat, as well as government initiative in terms of exemptions for some of the fish, cage fish products like nets, and funding that that is to be allocated to fishing, around 400 billion. And then there is no land ownership as far as this is concerned, and many suitable sites in terms of lakes. In regards to the fish species recommended by the Aquaculture Department of Uganda, they recommend Nile tilapia because of its ability to survive high stocking density and high survival rate, as well as it grows faster compared to the other breeds. It grows between 6 to 8 months, and the average weight is 500 grams at harvest. We expect an income of 1.6 billion, 658,880,000. Fixed costs at 74,760,000. Operational costs at 1.11 billion.
The payback period for the project is 3 years and 11 months. Sustainability plan of the project entails 1. Community acceptance, staff training and retention, research and development, maintenance of assets, quality assurance, internal controls, benchmarking, environmental impact assessment.
Now, all this fish, where will you sell it?
Our site being Majanje, Busia district, in the very short run, we'll target Busia district, Jinja, Tororo, Mbale, and the neighboring districts. Then we'll expand to Kampala and the rest of the districts.
So what have you done so far?
What we have done for this project, we have had consultations with Omal, who is an expert specialist from Aquaculture Department, who has helped us with the proposal, and then Vastra has helped us with the cage designs.
We've also identified a potential site that's in Busia Majanje district.
So what are you looking for? You're not specific on what you want from us.
We are here to showcase our proposal, and just like we told you, as one of our weaknesses is the limited capital.
For example, if you only hit 50% survival rate, are you still profitable?
50% survival rate will mean we are almost not at par, but we shall break even still within that period.
There's always been talk of fish poisoning. There's been an issue of security, especially given the general nature of the fishing communities. I know that some people in the fish cage farming have been policing their cages with the armed guards and things like that. So what's your risk management profile like in terms of actually keeping these fish alive?
That's a very good question. Like in every business, there's always a risk, and we did a risk assessment as well. First things first is engaging. We intend to engage the community to let them own the project. So basically, they have to appreciate the project and own it as theirs. That is more of basically engaging them. Then 2, the site is strategically located. There's a barracks around. Besides the army, we intend to employ private security in as far as our project is concerned.
And all that is within this operational cost?
Yes, please.
It's a good idea. But like he's pointed out, there's risk, a lot of risk. Of course, no business. There's no business without risk, but
That's true.
there seems to be too much exposure.
That's my feeling.
But let's internalize it, and we'll be able to get back to you.
All right.
Elite Social Investment Club want to open a pharmacy, and they're next.
So we conceived this idea through the dfcu scheme of save and invest. So we managed to save some money and then invested in the first pharmacy in 2017, which is called Better Health Pharmacy, and it is in the Gayaza Trading Center. So after investing in that, and the numbers are convincing, now our concept right now is to expand and invest in another pharmacy and others. So in the immediate term, we want to open a pharmacy in 2019 at the beginning, and the estimated capital is 65.5 million. Then we also want to invest in a magazine, which we shall call Better Health Magazine, and our estimate is 24.5 million. The expected profit that what we expect to get in the first year, about 30 million from the pharmacy and 25 million from the magazine. Why do we think it is a very good business idea? The market for health products is big. Every person you see around is a potential customer for a pharmacy. So our target is, how do we tap into that? Okay. Then you find that the healthcare cost in Uganda is always increasing. So we want to tap into that, but by bringing down the cost, trying to open up pharmacies that offer the medicines, the baby's products, the cosmetics at affordable prices and accessible to people. Then the magazine. The reason for the magazine, we can't promote a pharmacy. That is the regulation according to the law. So we can use the magazine to promote healthy living, and in there, people will also get to know our pharmacies. Why do we think this idea can work? We can base it on what is existing, because we already have a pharmacy, we have the numbers. Monthly purchases, the drugs, the cosmetics, and the like, it is between 17 and 20 million. So once we do that, that's the purchase, then the monthly sales, it is 27 million. Every month, that's what we make. Then the profit, after tax, after expenses and the like, it is 3 million per month. So if you are to look at our business from 2017 up to now, we have grown it to 150 million. That a conservative estimate is about 150 million right now as it is. So if we are to open at least 10 pharmacies, that is by 2025, there we are looking at 1.5 billion. And our grand plan, when we have so many pharmacies across the country, then we can go into the health insurance scheme.
You talked about your solution being providing medical care at a lower cost. Not medical care, but drugs at a lower cost. I want to know how you're going to achieve that. Because you see, cost is influenced by particular things.
When we went in, we had first do a market survey, looking at the buying price from the wholesalers and then the retail price. We found that on average, people are looking at 40% profit. For us, we reduced it 30%. But while maintaining our expenses and the like, we can still make the money within that.
So are you guys pharmacists?
No, we are not, but we are employing professional people.
So you're into pharmacies purely for business?
So we started the pharmacy first because we think it is a form of insurance for our members.
So what exactly are you looking for from us now? How much money and for what?
Right now, our estimate, if we are to invest in, like we are saying in January, to open up another pharmacy, then in June start up the magazine, we already have about 50 million. So we need like 40 more million.
Yeah,
okay, it was nice talking to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
The ladies in uniform march in, hoping that a good luck charm will follow them too.
We have a dream to invest into piggery project, which after some study, we saw it viable to take it up because of the benefits which it involved. Piggery is one of the projects which has market all over within Kampala and outside Kampala. The turnover is so good. at the end of the year, as you calculated. Then it has this thing of treatment is not so much, so long as you go into, so long as the hygiene is very good, you spray around, you clean the house, the workers are so good, you limit the people who enter the sty, it can be so good. Doesn't have a lot of costs in terms of treatment. That's why we have come up with this project, because we think it is going to do so well for us, in addition to other things we are doing. Bring us income at the end of the year, and eventually it will be coming in at the end of every 6 months. The sows can be got from 2 to 3 months, which are brought up to the 11th month. They will produce at the 11th month. We are going to begin with sows which are 50 in number. According to our calculations, 50 sows will bring us over 30 million at the end of 1 year. And then we needed just an investment capital of each sow of 2 to 3 months is around 120,000 a sow of 2 to 3 months.
On purchase, on feeding, on both?
No, just a sow.
Purchasing it?
Purchasing it, the feeding cost, each sow can eat around 1 kilo in a day. So in 30 days, it will eat around 105,000 kilograms per sow. So at the end of the year, it will be 1.2 million shillings. 50 of them at the end of the year, they will give us 350 sows at the end of the year. Then our projection is that we are going to invest 28,260,000 to produce the sows from the 3 months up to the 1 year, when it will farrow the piglets. So we intend to sell these piglets. Each piglet will be at 120,000 shillings. So 350 times 120, it will give us 42 million at the end of the year. So when you get our 42 million minus the 28 million which we invested, we shall get 13 million as our profit. We are here to urge you to give us this money, and then we invest and also develop as police officers at large.
You're already in this business?
Not yet.
Not yet.
This is our project proposal, which we want to venture into in the next coming year.
What would be your core business? Selling the piglets or the mature pigs?
Selling the piglets, and also the ones which are extra, we shall fatten them and also sell them at 50 or 60 kilograms to get money from them also.
Okay, a piggery is something that obviously has got a very vast market. You know, people
Yes,
are going to
please.
be eating pork for quite a bit of time.
Yes, please.
I just have a little bit of doubt on your cost forecast. I think you need to do a little bit more on forecasting your costs. However, my advice is, or rather my question is, why don't you start lower? Why don't you start with 10 and then grow through the process and then expand and scale? I'll donate the first 10 souls that you will start with.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Battle for cash. Battle for cash. Agri-Investment Kibbutz meets the investors next. Is their coffee idea what the investors are looking for?
We are an agribusiness investment club. We have 10 members. We have been in the business for 3 years, started in 2015. Our main products are certified Diclono and Elite coffee seedlings. We have grafted fruit tree seedlings like apple, citrus, and mango. We have horticulture products. We specialize on high-value crops like lettuce, sweet pepper, cherry tomato. We have 2 services. One is skilling youth in agribusiness, and the other is joint venture coffee farming. Being in the business for 3 years, we are strategizing to diversify into something else. In the past, we have produced and sold coffee seedlings worth 300 million, but the demand in the market has changed. More farmers are demanding for clones. So our strategy in the developed financial and strategic plan is shifting from elite to clones. Doing this, we need to have a mother garden seated on 2 acres that is able to generate 150,000 clones per year. In the joint venture coffee farming concept, we partner with people that have land, help them establish coffee estates, and in that strategy, our target is 1,000 acres. To the people we have talked with, we have secured 200 acres. But establishing 1,000 acres requires you to produce 680,000 clones, seedlings. Each clone is sold at 1,500, so the value created is 1,020 million. In our farming, we do intercrop, that is coffee and matoke. So we use a spacing of 3 by 3, so that an acre will accommodate 680 plants of coffee and 110 plants of banana. So to establish an acre of clones, of the clones, you need 680 clones and 120 plantlets of banana. So the plantlets required to cover 1,000 acres are 120,000, which is sold at 300, that is 360 million. So the value we are creating is 1,360 million. So what do we need from you investors? To produce these plantlets, you need to have a reliable supply of water. And we have acquired a farm in Nagalama. We have the land where we can put the mother garden. What is lacking is the water. We have received quotations from 3 pump irrigation people, and we need a 20,000 liter capacity irrigation system. This requires an investment of 56 million. So we want you to invest 56 million in the project for 12.5% stake in the business. What value do we give you? The investment requires 132,780,000. The impact is that you as our investor, you are going to be sharing on the value we are creating in selling the seedlings. The beauty with it is that we are creating the product and creating the demand. So there is a synchrony between the product we are selling and where we are selling it. What is the impact to the society of the joint ventures? If we successfully do the 1,000 acres, each plant of coffee will give you 300 kilograms of fair average quality every year. So you have a total production of 2,720,000 kilograms. This translates into an annual revenue of 13.6 billion. So you as our investors, you have a share in this money.
Let's talk more about your revenue lines. Just discuss one after the other.
Our revenue lines basically are seedlings. In the first year, 2015, we sold seedlings, 200,000 seedlings, which is sold at 300, so that generated 60 million. Then the next season, we sold seedlings worth 90 million. Yes, there were 300. So our revenue streams basically are flowing, basically on the seedlings. And then the reason why we have horticulture, we've moved into horticulture when we acquired this place in Nagalama, because horticulture brings in money faster than the coffee. And considering that we are skilling youth, we use the earn as you learn model. So you have to provide something for them where they can do and be getting money when the session ends. So they do the horticulture on behalf of us, but they're entitled to a percentage, and we're entitled to a percentage. So the horticulture basically brings in to the company, to us, about 10 million. That is after 4 months. And then the seedlings, the coffee business, has rakes in 90 million. But we want to shift from that.
Per annum?
Yeah, per annum. But once we have the mother garden and producing the clones, our per annum revenues will be 225 million. Because when you have 2 acres of mother garden, you produce 8,000 cuttings, 80,000. And when you are looking at an efficiency of 75%, because all people in the business don't achieve 100%. Basically, the research center is at 40%, but ours is at 75%. If you can do 75% of the cuttings, you have 150,000. Selling each at 1,500, it translates into 225 million. So the production cost is 80 million. So you are looking at a profit. At a profit that is 225. That is over 120, considering other things like maintenance costs and that. Yeah.
Mr. Sachito, I am in.
At last, a business partner for agri-investment kibbutz.
We are honored. We take the blessing. Thank you so much.
We also welcome you to Nagarama to see the actual thing.
Next is Oyster Investment Club.
So, initially we had a strategy of going into real estate. After acquiring the 100 acres, we got an idea in our investment club that instead of leaving, because our strategy was we buy land, we leave it appreciate, after some years, then we can get some money. But we realized instead of keeping the 100 acres idle, we can utilize, we can use it and through land use, and we create some extra value. So we made consultations with the NFA and some investors in agroforestry, and we got knowledge about the forestry, agroforestry, and the knowledge points here we got were it's a patient and yet a profitable business, agroforestry. And then we also learned about the various risks associated with fruit growing. Then we learned also the species which are grown around. And then we got also expert knowledge about the area we have, the 200 acres, and the type of tree which is suitable for our area. The type of tree we chose to grow was the Eucalyptus grandis from South Africa. Maturity, 10 years. We intend here to plant the 80 hectares in 5 phases. That is in the next 5 years. So starting with the next year. So the total investment we require will come to about 334 million. But it is done
For all the phases?
All the phases. That is the total.
How much per phase?
Year 1 will need 45 million. Year 2, 35. Year 3, 35. Because we intend to plant 20 hectares in year 1. That is next year. And then in year 2, 15 until we'll complete the whole. We will start harvesting in year 11 up to year 15. So the projected profit for year 11 is 900 million.
Profit or
This
sales?
is profit after tax. Year 12 is 673.
So what would the sales be?
The sales,
Because you said 900 is profit, 45 is input. What are the
Yes.
sales?
year 1 will be 1.2 billion.
1.2.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you need?
You can come in for the 334 million.
Around year 5, we start earning some little income from the poles that we'll be selling off.
He's talking about selling poles. You're talking about selling lots. Which is which?
No, okay. When we start year 1, you remember, after 2 years, we'll do thinning. When you thin, those poles will be, we'll start getting some revenue. We have incorporated all that in our sales focus. After 5 years, the one which implanted the crop A will also do some thinning after 5 years. So when you thin at 2 years, you get some revenue from the pole which can be used in construction. At year 5, you also do the second thinning. You can still also get some revenue also by selling the poles. Then the maturity, at maturity, that is after 10 years, that's when we start now the harvesting.
You can do your lotting now. You can attract people to buy them now. And some of the monies they give you, you can then use to plant the lots that you have promised to plant for them, and then also develop your own lots. That way you will have solved both things. You would have been able to get money early, and that money would be interest free because you've actually sold a potentially a tree investment to someone who doesn't have the time to go and run that tree investment himself. And if you did that, I might be interested.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Okay. Yeah.
Lastly, the lads of Kinasako with their affordable housing option.
We come from Kinakwekulakulanya Sako. This Sako started in 2011. The category of the members we have youths, we have women, those make the biggest percentage. We have men, and we are a village Sako. So we cater for low income earners, most especially. And when we looked at the situation, we decided to find a package that will help lift these people from the level they are to at least another level. When you look at these people, most of them, they are renting. They are staying in 2-roomed houses, 1-roomed house. So we came up with a business of real estate, which can be operated at that level which they can afford. Here what we do, as the Sako, we invested in some good money. We first invested 50 million there. We could go and buy a big chunk of land at a fair price. We cut it into small pieces. Then we call these members who wish to buy some plots, who are ready to run out of renting. We give them up to 2 years paying for that piece of land. It could be a 50 by 50. It is usually between 6-5 millions. They give an interest of 2% per month. So annually, they give an interest of 24%. Constructing a house may also be a hurdle. Then we brought in this element. That business, we've been doing it. For now, it is coming to 2 years. Then we have made a proposal where we wanted to start constructing houses to these people. We calculated a house, a 3-roomed house with a toilet outside, with a compound and a veranda and a store. We calculated it costs 13,020,000 shillings, a house of that kind. Again, we agreed that we make a hardware so that when we are giving these people loans, we give them loans in the form of labor support and supply of building materials. There we agreed that we give a period of 2 to 3 years to these people.
Is that cost being informed by having multiple sites so that you can enjoy economies of scale, or is it assuming you're building one house at a time?
We are building one house at a time.
You know, if you're building 10 houses, you'll make a saving because there will be bulk purchase of materials, there will be bulk negotiations for everything, and so on and so forth.
How much do you want?
200 million shillings. We have a budget of the hardware. It is 50 millions and 227,000 shillings. That is for setting up the hardware. Then the 2 millions for setting up the construction company, buying the overlays, the elements on the head, this so-called Miko, the bridge and what have you, at least for the company to start. Because the workers are already there, all they need are the equipments that belong to us. Again, the balance will inject it in this business of, buying plots. Because they are plots where sometimes we are called when we are not having enough capital. But it is a revolving fund.
Do you have any land you haven't sold?
Yes, we have that land. But when you have more, because at times they may call you when it is being sold cheaply, when you don't have enough capital to buy that particular time.
How much are you collecting in membership subscription every month?
We collect close to 2 million.
Only?
From membership fees, not shares, not savings,
What's
not
the fee
interest.
structure like?
The structure?
Fee structure for membership.
The fee structure for membership.
I want to become a member next month.
15,000 shillings membership, and the account is 5,000. So 20,000 only for membership. Then you start buying shares. A share is 10,000 shillings.
Well, I think it's a good idea. I
Thank
see
you.
you have multiple revenue streams. You have the plots for sale. You have the hardware as a commercial venture.
Mhm.
You have the houses. All those are revenue streams. You're keeping money
Yeah,
within
to-
yourself.
just to add on the profitability of the business, there is the 2% that is got from the plot when someone is buying.
Mhm.
And remember, we bought the plot, for example, at a fair price.
So there's a capital
Then
gain
we cut
also
it in
there.
2 pieces. Again, there is a margin there.
Just 2 points of caution as you go along. Have a sense of the future. Have a sense of not rebuilding what my colleague is calling slums. So please, even if people are under hardship, one of your models should be that we want people to stand or to realize 15 years, 20 years from now that they made a good decision working with us.
Okay.
So make sure your estates are planned. Make sure your estates can attract people.
Kina Sacco fails to win themselves a business partner today, but they still have a shot at winning any of the cash prizes in the battle for cash, a study trip to Nairobi and business advisory services from PricewaterhouseCoopers for a whole year.
You, the viewer, are an important part in deciding who wins Season 2 of the Battle for Cash. Now, next week, we'll open the voting lines, so vote wisely. Thank you for watching.